I have 5 terms you need to know as a first-time home buyer. Stay tuned to see exactly what they are. Hi, welcome back to my channel, Limitless Real Estate. My name's Liana, and I am here to give you valuable real estate content on your home buying journey. So for today's topic, we're going to talk about 5 different terms that you need to know when it comes to buying your first home. They're common terms. Some of them aren't common. Some of them actually I recently learned being a first year agent. So let's get into it. So the first term we're going to learn about today is appraisal gap. So essentially, appraisal gap is the difference between the market value of the home and the offer that you made on the home. So to give a good example, say you found a house for $200,000, right? And you're in a bidding war with other offers, blah, 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 blah. You're in a bidding war. Boom, you get it for, just say you get it for $220. You put an offer for $220, your offer gets accepted. Okay, you move on to the appraisal part. So you get the appraisal to see, if anything's wrong with the house, or if the house is, you get the appraisal to see if the house is worth the what you put in for it. So you get the appraisal done, and it comes back that it is actually worth $210. So now you have that $10,000 in the middle. So the next best thing you can do is, one, negotiate with the seller to see if you can get the price down to where you can go ahead and just pay the $210 outright. Or number 2, you have to pay that gap. So you have to pay that extra $10,000 because the lender will not pay for more than what the house is worth. Remember that. The lender will not pay for more than what the house is worth. So if you buy it for $220 and the house is appraised for $210, you have to find a way to pay that $10K, or more than likely it'll fall through. The finances will fall through on that home. So that's a very important term to learn. That is actually the term that I just learned. So it is very, very important. So term number 2, earnest money deposit. Earnest money deposit is basically a good faith deposit, and it's just telling the seller that I am super, super serious about buying your home. Earnest money deposit can go anywhere from $100 all the way up to, honestly, however much you want to put down, depending on the price of the house. Just saying, hey, I really want to buy your home and I'm so serious about it. The money goes into escrow. So it's like a bank account that will hold all money during the purchase of a home. So the deposit will go into the escrow account, and that money, essentially, it belongs to you. It will actually be utilized to buy the home. So it'll wait in escrow until the end, and you can get it back just in case any type of contingencies fall through. Then you can actually get that money back. Or if you want to back out of the contract, you can get that money back. So, but this is a good way to show your seriousness about buying a home, and can actually be a great tool to help you in this competitive market. So remember that. Earnest money deposit. Remember that. The next term, which is the term that you heard me use in the last slide, is contingencies. So contingencies or contingency clause is basically certain actions that need to be taken before a real estate contract or a home purchase contract is binding. So for example, 3 common contingencies that have to truly be taken care of would be finances, it has to be inspection and appraisal. So if any one of these three things fall through, some of them, it may be fixable if you're still serious about buying a home, but at the same time, it could cause the deal to fall through. Also, you kind of do see people waiving contingencies. So if you can waive the inspection or waive the appraisal, but this is if you're like truly if you're truly serious about buying a home and you feel like you can fix everything that's in there, you just really want to get in a home, then that would be perfect. Like if you want to waive the inspection or you want to waive like the appraisal, you can, and that could sweeten the deal and get your offer accepted. Sometimes it's not the best idea because you kind of don't know exactly what you're walking into, but it is something that you can do. Also, like another good example would be like, if you get a house and the roof is leaky, the seller has to fix that before you buy the home. Or if there's some type of infestation that needs to be taken care of, you can tell the seller, hey, you need to get that fixed before we sign this contract. So these are the types of contingencies that can happen, or the things that need to be done before you actually commit to buying a home. So think about waiving contingencies unless you're a handyman or you feel like you can afford someone to fix these things in a home. So yeah, perfect. So the next term we're going to talk about is closing costs. You're probably wondering, well, why are we talking about closing costs? That's common. Well, actually, closing costs can get mixed up in a sense of people think that the closing cost is going to be intertwined with the down payment, and it's not that. Closing costs is actually the separate fees like escrow fees, title fees, and lender fees. And those are all the fees that are usually paid by the buyer. Now, in some instances, if the seller is really motivated to sell, they will pay part or all of the closing costs. Or if you find a brilliant realtor that is willing to give you a part of their commission at the end of closing, that can also help you with your closing cost as well. So remember, closing costs is not a part of down payment. They are two separate entities, or two separate checks at the end of closing. So just remember, and usually it goes about 3% of the purchase price is what you'll be paying for closing costs. So it's the down payment, so the lowest 3.5%, and then it's the 3% for closing costs. So definitely remember that. I know quite a few people think it all binds together, and I don't want especially first time home buyers to make that mistake. So they're two separate things. So on to the last term. So the last term we are going to talk about is a purchase agreement, which is a contract between the seller and the buyer, just stating all of the terms when it comes to the home sale. So essentially, this is going to be talking about the price of the home that it is being sold for, when the buyer can move in, the different appliances that are going to stay in the home, which will include all the bills of sales of certain items that are going to be staying at the home that aren't technically a part of the home, but the seller is willing to sell to the buyer. So the purchase agreement is the binding contract to make the sale happen, and all the terms, and the buyer and the seller will have to agree with all of those terms. So thank you so much for tuning in on today's video. These 5 terms are very important to know, especially as a first-time home buyer. I plan on making a part 2 to this, so please let me know down in the comments if you would like a part 2. There's plenty of terms that need to be known to first-time home buyers so they don't go in blind. So I will be very much happy to make that video for you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you like my videos, you like the content that I'm providing, please leave a like, share, or comment down at the bottom, and please subscribe. Let me know what kind of content you're looking for, any questions that you may have that I could possibly answer for you. Because I'm really loving doing this content and really loving giving out these videos. So please stay tuned for next video. It is going to be awesome. It's going to be out on Wednesday. So yes, have a great day, and Limitless out.